Ace, we call him up here in the booth. He'll let us know what it was like to be riding shotgun on. You can find out too. We'll have more nights like tonight where you'll have a chance in here for a ride in a modified. If you've never been out on Ukiah Speedway in a race car, you gotta check it out. It's a whole lot of fun.
You got to change your clothes?
Now it's pushing so bad, I definitely got to change it.
It's getting tighter.
Oh man.
Go up like 4.
Yeah.
I need some help with that.
So are we going to have to change your clothes or what?
No, I loved it. It was just, like I said, I would have been happy with 5 more laps. When you get onto the straight stretch, it's pretty, you can literally feel the G-forces.
So how was he as a passenger, Bob? How was he as a passenger?
He was great.
Oh, good.
He was smiling, he had a good time. He wanted to go more laps.
Like I said, hey, I would have been happy with 5 more laps. I tell you what, I was nervous at first, but once I got in the car and the G-forces on it, I could feel the adrenaline going through me. Now I know what it feels like to be behind the wheel these days.
Nice.
Almost hard to believe.
It is, it really is. When you get into the corner, it's like, I see the wall coming at me so quick, and then I don't know how you guys do this for 40 years, man. I don't know how you do this for 40 years.
Yeah, that close to another car.
Yeah, it's different because you're close to other cars.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed.
Oh, yeah.
Ace Naylor, racing car rider.
This has been I should call it, a checkered flag talk show production.
Yeah.
It was a great race. We had a great time in this thing. I said I would have been happy with 5 more laps. Willie West, he got to do it yesterday and had a good time. And he pretty much told me what to expect going into it. So it was just a lot of fun.
Excellent, excellent.
All right. Well, I'm going to get back up there and announce. Be sure to check the Checkered Flag talk show every Wednesday night from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Peace. Well, and that was me riding in the number 11 modified with Bob Strauss. Of course, the video, I got out and got in. It was a lot of fun. Like I said, my experience was like no other. I wanted to go for 5 more laps. I could have gone. He did 5. I could have gone 5 more laps after he did that.
Doesn't it make you just want to like change spots with him and you go out and do that?
It kind of does. It kind of does. I think I would have been happy behind the wheel, but it was just pretty. Now I understand the whole. Actually, I should say that now I understand the whole racing hassle for people, because it is one of the most awesome experiences, and with the adrenaline and everything else, that you could you can think of. Man, it's just great. So that concludes that video, and on the phone we have none other than. And I like to call it, when you've heard of the mouth of the South, I like to call him the mouth of the East, the one and only Vinny the Guido on the phone with us right now. How you doing, Vinny?
What's going on, Shannon? Long time no speak, brother.
Well, I can tell you what's going on right now. Craft technology. Oops, did I say that on the? Oh, well, we're having technology issues, and we've had Vinny the Guido on the show before when we were on Blog Talk. You folks may remember him from that. You may remember him from the last time from calling in when we were over on Channel 8. Vinny the Guido, we have our guest here tonight with us is Katie Miller, drives a bomber, and you call bombers over there. Now tell Katie what bombers are called over there on the East Coast. I love you. You guys are gonna love hearing this.
We call them blunderbusts.
Blunderbusts.
That's weird.
Yeah, they have a different name over there. Well, Katie races a number 84 bomber. She also races what's called a jammer. And get this, you're going to love this, Vinny. This jammer, these jammers have up here what they call jammers kids race, and they have them, and they're like, you can go out and pretty much to a junkyard and get a little Toyota and buy a little Toyota car, like a little 4-door, gut it out, put roll bars in it and everything, and regulate it to a race car. And they got kids anywhere from how old?
12 to
about 16. That race these, it's like it's an all kids division. It's pretty awesome.
12 years old.
Yeah.
And they're freak. Do their feet even reach the gas pedal? Like, what's up with that?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's funny how they won't. It's funny how they won't have a license. They won't give them a license. but they'll let them race on a racetrack. So I think that's great, though. It's really great what they do for the kids over here. And before we get, do you have any questions for her? Actually, because we're going to let her, we're going to, she can hang with us for the rest of the...
First thing I got to say to you is, as far as the technical difficulties go, it's not, I mean, technical difficulty is something that happens on an everyday basis with any radio network.
Yeah.
The only thing is, it's not about the technical difficulties, it's how fast you could recover from it. And when you recover from it, once you master the recovery, then it doesn't matter if you have technical difficulties because you can always recover once you're well known to it. But that's the beauty of technical difficulties is recovering.
I appreciate that, and I have. We're back on the show, and we got you on here, and we're doing things, having fun. So we're gonna give her a chance to give sponsors and shout outs that you may have. Katie.
I have a question for Katie.
Oh, you do? Go ahead.
How old were you when you first started racing, dear?
I was 15.
She's only 16 now. She's only been in it for a year, so.
Oh, wow.
And she's on her way to winning her first championship.
Congratulations to you, dear.
Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah.
So does your family race too, or is it like a family thing, or is it something you just wanted to do, or what?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, pretty much.
Well, the reason I ask is because I know in New York that a lot of families grow up with racing, so it's like a generation thing. When one family member does it, the other family members do it, and so on and so on.
We have that out here too, Vinny. It's the same. We have that out here. And for those who don't know, Vinny, everybody knows who Vinny is pretty much. But for those who don't, Vinny is a major radio personality on the East Coast. He is a manager for professional wrestling. He also has become quite a fan with racing. Spends time at a speedway called Riverhead Raceway. Vinny the Guido has gotten us numerous guests. Jason Sidlowski, to name a few, a legend driver. He's got us a few guys out there that have called in from the East Coast. And so he's a major radio personality, been on the show with us before, and it's always a pleasure to have you back on. So.
Oh, it's always a pleasure to be on, man. Thank you again for having me on here.
Yeah, right on. So hey,
shout
outs and sponsors, and we'll go ahead and you can hang with us for the rest of the show too if you'd like, while we're talking to Vinny and doing some recaps and stuff like that. So you're welcome to stay with us.
Okay. Well, some of my sponsors I like to thank is my newest, which is Kenny from In the Wall Racing, and he's donated a lot of money for helping me buying gas for my Bomber. And I'd also like to thank ALC Racing Engines. Their engine is actually the one that's in my Bomber now, and we just put it in a couple weeks ago, and it's been running great. So I'd like to thank them. And Case Apiro of Santa Rosa for the lettering and numbering on my car, and Tax Tech of Santa Rosa. And for people I'd like to thank would be probably Mike and Denise Doss for getting me the jammer in the first place, because we were having problems with my first jammer, and it didn't look like I was going to race, but they kind of came to the rescue and found the jammer for me. And Rod and Xerxes Skidmore for giving me a place to work on my car and some place to keep it, since like Santa Rosa is kind of a far trip and there's not really much place we can keep it there.
Wow, a lot of people involved with your whole racing.
Yeah. Lakeport Speedway, because they give me a place to race. The racing community for helping out and being there if something happens to my car, or if they want to give me advice. My brother for letting me race, because he's the one who lets me go on the weekends. And the Cook family, because they come and watch sometimes and help out with the ABLM. And Bob Cook himself, because without him I wouldn't have gotten this far. And he's always working on my cars and spending all the weekends with me and taking me there. And
you also need to thank Bob Cook for giving you a push, because he's the one that pushed to. We'd planned on getting to you eventually, but he's the one that pushed to get you on the show. He sent us a long message on Facebook, telling us what you do and all that, and how great you were on the track. And of course, I already knew from announcing, but I also thank him for that too. So he's also the reason for getting you on the show here today.
I just know he's really proud, and probably didn't expect me to come this far, but I have, and I have him to thank a lot for it. So
Definitely phenomenal definitely phenomenal. And you know, I want to say, keep up
I have
the
a
good work.
question. How many shows how many races have you won in the year that you've been doing it?
6 main events, 8 heat races, and 3 trophy dashes.
At 16. All that at 16.
Congratulations, dear. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. That's just phenomenal. Well, hey, thanks I really appreciate being with us. And you can stay and hang out and chat with us and Vinny and all that. And we have about 15 minutes left. So, you know, yeah, you can stay. You want to stay right on, stay with us. So I want to talk about what's happening. If I can get to the right paperwork, what's happening next week here. And Vinny, we'll get to you in a second, but this Saturday we've got some great racing. We have the Modifieds sponsored by Rental Solutions. We have the Buffalo Shipping Post sponsored by Bandoleros will be back. Legend Cars. Isn't this the Legend Cars isn't this the INEX Legend weekend?
I don't know. She probably should say they're on the list.
It doesn't say anything about INEX, but I thought this was the INEX Legend weekend. And speaking of legends, that's who we had on our show. That's where Vinny got us, a legend driver from Riverhead Raceway. And he's INEX also. Pro 4 Modifieds are the specialty, and of course the Budweiser Bombers. She's going to be back, hopefully taking that checkered flag this weekend.
She's going to be racing Lakeport.
Yeah.
Oh, she is? Okay. Well,
she's got to
cool.
win a championship first before she can go play.
Win one for me, Katie. Win one for me.
Oh, and you're gonna love this, Vinny. You gotta hear this. Talk about the most destructive thing one of the most destructive things we do, besides the boat races, Vinny, is we do a thing that's happening at the end of the night after the Modifieds, Bandoleros, Legends, Pro 4s, and Bombers, and we're gonna have what's called the Crazies. You heard it.
This weekend?
That's right, the Crazies. And guess what this is? Ukiah Auto Dismantlers. It is a motorhome jump. Now you gotta hear this, Vinny. This car will actually get a run at it and jump up over a dirt mound and try to go over the top of the motorhome. I can tell you 99.9% of the time it ends up going through.
Wow.
And they got a stunt guy that does it, and he's actually not even a hired stunt man. You know, he does it just for fun. Isn't it Ron Duke Jr. that does it? Ron Duke Jr. is crazy. He's talking about the crazies. Ron Duke Jr. is the one that does that. Yeah. Ron Duke Jr. also is going to be racing that. No, he's not. That's right, because they don't have street stock, so he won't be racing.
No.
So, last time he did it, I met him last time he did it, Vinny, I met him and I talked to him in the pit, and he had a concussion. He was not all there last time he did it.
That's why he does it.
That's why he does it, because he's
not all there.
He's not all there anymore. After so many of them.
Well,
yeah.
I like the rollovers, and I like the demolition derbies also.
We've had rollovers and demolition derbies. You know, those are a lot of fun. So, Vinny, I wanted to talk to you about your experience out there at the track.
Oh, it was great. I took my kids to go see it, and right after the races were over, I took them I got them to go on the track and go in the pit and meet all the drivers.
Right on.
Kids had a blast. They loved it. They saw the demolition derby. They saw the modified. They saw the figure eights. They saw the dinosaur. It's like some kind of like dinosaur dragon thing that breathes fire and like eats cars and stuff. Took them to go see that.
Oh, wait a minute. Back that up. Is that what is that? So there's an actual mechanical machine, dragon machine that eats the cars?
Yes, and it breathes fire and stuff. Yep.
Oh wow, that's great. They do this at Riverhead Raceway.
I've heard that before.
Is that out in Jersey?
Yeah, they've done it in Jersey too, actually.
Okay, where is Riverhead Raceway located?
It's Riverhead, Long Island, New York. And
okay.
The next one I'm taking my kids to is the monster trucks and stuff and the auto car racing that's going to be at Riverhead Raceway in September. So. Yeah,
we had those out here. We had a fair out here. We had the monster trucks. We had the boat races. We had the. Oh, you got to hear this. You may have heard of the boat races. How they pull boats behind the cars and they wet down the track, and the boat is suspended by a chain, and the car comes up behind them. They're derby cars. The object of the game is to knock the boat off the car. It's one of the most insane, destructive things aside from the motorhome jump.
Oh, I gotta see that. Oh my God.
You can go to YouTube. There's videos on YouTube.
You can go to YouTube. Go to YouTube and
just type in boat racing.
Go to YouTube and type in go to YouTube and type in Ukiah Speedway boat races. It'll show you.
That or Lakeport Speedway.
I know
Lakeport Speedway has it.
Wait, I have a question. Is that where they put the boat on a trailer and the car's gonna drag the
No. The boat's not on a trailer. The boat is actually dragging behind the car. It's scraping. It is.
It's dragging behind the car. Yeah, I've seen that. That's cool. They do that in Long Island too.
They
every
did.
now and then.
They used to do them with boats and trailers, but they were going too darn fast, so they